This was inevitable. The NBA did exactly what Knicks fans all should have been expecting from the start, as they went out there and ensured that the New York Knicks would not be allowed to keep momentum against the Boston Celtics or be able to play in a game that would be evenly called. No one really should be surprised that the NBA went out of their way to ensure that the New York Knicks would get absolutely screwed while they decided to completely rob the Knicks, and we're going to break all of this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. Guys, I appreciate all the support, and if you guys are part of that 67% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to subscribe. We have daily New York Knicks videos, a bunch of other fun content as well with live streams, YouTube Shorts, TikToks, a bunch of good stuff that you don't want to miss out on. So subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss a single video. But let's jump into it. The New York Knicks, we've seen it this playoffs. We've seen it in the regular season. They've gotten screwed over before, and they've gotten screwed over again. It's a very common thought in the NBA players. It's not even a thought. It's something that NBA players admit to, saying, well, in certain situations, we know that we're going to have to win a game by 20 to win by 2. The New York Knicks, effectively, they get put in this situation. They've gotten put in this situation against the Detroit Pistons. And now everyone should have expected from the start for them to get put in this situation against the Boston Celtics. The New York Knicks are playing the Boston Celtics in the playoffs for the first time in 12 years. A series that the Knicks won in 6 games after going up 3-0 and letting the Celtics crawl back a little bit, partially, again, because of the calls and all that stuff and because the NBA knows to stretch out a New York-Boston series. They're not dumb. And, well, as we all know, the New York Knicks, they lost to the Celtics today. And a huge reason why is because the calls were abysmal. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that's the only reason. There's a bunch to discuss on this, but the calls were horrific. Fans noticed it. It was not lost on them. We saw fans going out of the way to say that they've watched. We saw Hyatt mention that he's watched 90 Knicks games this season. He's sick and tired of Karl-Anthony Towns getting mauled on one end and then getting called for touch fouls on the other end. Something that was absurd all night long with the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics. We saw Karl-Anthony Towns get assaulted down there and watch fouls not get called, and watched an awful offensive interference call get made when the ball was not over the cylinder. It was the incorrect call. Robbed the Knicks of important momentum. And on top of that, Knicks Central, Alex B. mentioning, with the game out of reach for the Knicks, the refs are finally calling fouls on the Knicks when the Celtics are hacking Karl-Anthony Towns. So later people can spin it and say the whistle was fine because they'll look at free throws and foul totals. That's why you got to watch the game. And that's exactly what's going to happen because you look at the New York Knicks right here. They shot more free throws than the Boston Celtics. They made 24 out of their 35 free throws, which is not good enough at all. We saw Brunson miss a key free throw, but most of that, if we're being serious, does come from Mikal Robinson, who went 4 for 12 from the line. That's why the free throw numbers are inflated as well. The hack of Mitch is happening. It was happening when the Celtics were up 29. It's really, really weird that Celtics fans are saying, well, Jalen Brunson's not fun to watch when you're doing Hack-a-Mitch up 29. I'm not hating on the Hack-a-Mitch thing. I think you're right to do it. I think teams are correct. If a guy can't hit free throws, make him shoot them. It's the right call. I'm approving of heads-up basketball at all times. On top of that, we look at the Boston Celtics. They had way more fouls. Why? Because of Hack-a-Mitch. And also at the end of the game, they started calling fouls. Now, Mitchell Robinson, who right now is directly behind my head, as you can see on the screen, he was fouled time and time again, and what happened? He missed his free throws, and the New York Knicks looked on, wondering what the hell was going on, because Mitchell Robinson going 4 for 12 from the line is inexcusable. There's no way around it. There's no way to dance around it. What was happening is inexcusable. You cannot shoot 33% from the line in an NBA playoff game. Now, the thing is, Mitch is still one of the most positive players on the Knicks. It was that case today. It was that case in Game 2 and Game 1 when the Celtics did hack Mitch as well. Mitch has been a plus player for the New York Knicks, but it's undeniable the man's going to have to do something about these free throws. Now, a big part of it, and also it is important to note that he started making them later on as he hit 3 of his final 5 free throws, which is a lot better, and is 60%, something that you're not exactly going to commit hack-a-mitch for a ton of times. However, what we're seeing is Mitchell Robinson, an NBA player, completely airball free throws and miss them, and it's killing him. It's why he is missing these free throws. For all the people out there saying he doesn't practice his free throws or something like that, that's not true. He practiced them before the game today. However, Mitchell Robinson doesn't shoot jump shots in the NBA. He's not allowed to, meaning the only time he's going to shoot the ball away from the rim is a free throw. Mitchell Robinson spent most of the season out with an injury, so he hasn't been shooting in front of an NBA audience in a long time. Now the teams are intentionally fouling him. It's getting in his head. He feels like he's being picked on, and that's because because he is being picked on. The Boston Celtics and Detroit Pistons have both went out of their way to pick on Mitchell Robinson and make him shoot free throws because it's something he struggles at. Again, I'm not hating on these teams for doing that. I'm actually commending them. I think they're doing the right thing. You should foul Mitchell Robinson. If he's going to shoot 33% from the free throw line, you should foul him every single chance you get. They're right to do it. Absolutely they are. And it's a very good coaching strategy by both Joe Mazzulla and the JB Bickerstaff for doing so. I'm not going to go out there and say, well, they shouldn't do that. They absolutely should. Do I think it's a weird rule to have in basketball? Absolutely. What if it was on the other end? Would I feel that way? I'm unsure. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm not a biased Knicks fan. No matter how hard I try to not be biased, I'm always going to lean towards the Knicks at the end of the day because they're the team I want to see succeed. There's only so much that we as fans can do to stop that feeling. However, it is upsetting to watch it happen and happen and happen and happen and happen. And guess what? Mitch isn't having fun with it either. There's no part of him that's thinking this is a good time. He literally was hunching over and beating himself up. When he airballed that free throw, Deuce had to come pick him up. It's like, come on, man. It's all right. Let's keep going. Because it was embarrassing. You think he's not embarrassed by that? He is. Dude, you're in the NBA. You're making $12 million a year to be an NBA player, and you're airballing free throws. Something that, I mean, I'm not some good basketball player. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm good at basketball. I mean, Patrick Billings from Celtics Digest has seen it himself. Matt Long from Jets Digest has seen it himself. We've all played basketball together at Sacred Heart up at college. This is the first time I think I ever said what college I went to also. Whatever. We're going to push past that. Shout out Sacred Heart University and all the graduates who did graduate from college today. Massive ups to you guys. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. If any of you went to Sacred Heart University or are going there and graduate today, all the shout outs in the world. But that's not what this video is about. Think about Mitchell Robinson, man. You watching this video. Yeah, you. Who's watching this on your phone or your computer or on your TV? According to the stats, it's usually phones. I see those stats. Look, do you think you could shoot better than 33% from the free throw line? Because I think I could. I'm being honest. I think I could. However, if I'm being picked on by my peers, then maybe it's going to get in my head a bit more. Actually, no, it is. Because the whole world's watching me, expecting me to miss. On top of that, my peers are fouling me, thinking I'm the worst in the entire NBA at something. That's embarrassing. There's no way for Mitch to not feel that. So that's a huge problem in itself. I'm not saying this was all the refereeing. The Knicks lost by 20 points. It wasn't just a ref fest. But the refs, they did not call this game evenly. Why? Because why would you want this Knicks-Celtics series that's been incredibly entertaining to end in 4 games when it can end in 7? I expected the Knicks to lose tonight. I'm not going to act like I thought they were going to win tonight. I fully thought they would lose. I thought they would lose by double digits. I didn't think it was going to be this ugly, but it was. The Knicks have now been down 20 points in every single game against the Boston Celtics. They're up 2-1, though. If you say that, someone would think, if you said that to me, I would have to call the brain clinic or something. If anyone's seen that Dana White clip where it's, I think we got to call the brain clinic or something about it. You know how dumb you have to be? But yeah, I wouldn't have expected that. However, they are, but they've still been down 20 points in 3 straight games. That's not a good look. It gives the Celtics momentum now that they also didn't allow that comeback. The Knicks have to go out and they have to punch first in that next game. And Tom Thibodeau, who's outcoached Joe Mazzulla for the first 2 games, did not coach a good game today. There was so much drop coverage. The Celtics, in turn, shot 20 for 40 from 3. Is that going to happen often? No. However, neither is the way the Celtics shot in the first couple of games. So you cannot imagine they're going to continue to miss and miss and miss and miss and miss. And they just proved that. Honestly, this was not a good loss for the Knicks. It's not something that you're like, it was going to happen. No, this was a bad loss for the Knicks. But at the same time, there's something the Knicks can take away from this. You now get a reality check. Hey, we lost to this team 4 out of 4 times in the regular season for a reason. We were down to this team 20 points for a reason. We have to find what's working because there's stuff that's working and do that for the full 48 minutes. Look, the Knicks have been at their best basketball all season long in this playoff series. The way they've rallied, the way they've played. But you cannot play catch-up all the time. It's not going to work out well. And if they keep going down, guess what? The Knicks are going to lose this series. I have said even when the Knicks were up 2-0, I would still bet on the Celtics because I think it's good value. Right now, I'd bet on the Celtics to win this series. I do think the Knicks are going to win tomorrow, though. And I think they're not tomorrow, but Monday. And I think that's a big part of things. The Knicks also have to win. Game 4 is a must-win. The way that Shaquille O'Neal said that Game 3 was a must-win for the Knicks, which I didn't exactly disagree with, and Charles Barkley said the same thing. I don't exactly disagree with them. But I think Game 4 absolutely is a must-win for the New York Knicks. Don't let the Celtics get momentum going back into home. That's a terrible idea. You have to go out. You have to show them who's boss. The Knicks can beat the Celtics. They know this. They cannot get caught up in this loss, even if it's hard not to. I mean, look, we saw Karl-Anthony Towns also in a major Knicks injury update. We saw him say, I broke it, about his finger. Now, someone said it might be his fingernail that he's talking about, or he broke his finger. That's not good for the Knicks. As it was mentioned right here, That sucks. The Knicks need to make sure that if Karl-Anthony Towns actually did seriously injure his finger to the point where he broke his finger, the Knicks are going to have to rally around that. They're going to need to see more offense from Mikal Bridges. They're going to need to see more offense from OG Anunoby, who literally did nothing offensively all night. OG looked uncomfortable. Mikal looked nervous. The only person who looked comfortable was Jalen Brunson, who didn't shoot the ball very well. And Jalen Brunson has struggled all season long, or all series long. He's averaging 24 points and 6 assists with 4 rebounds a game. He's still playing well because he's Jalen Brunson in the playoffs. But he hasn't had the best series. I mean, he's shooting 38% from the field and 38% from 3. He has to be better than that. The same way that Karl-Anthony Towns, broken finger or not, is going to have to be better than he was these past 2 games. 18.7 points and 15 rebounds is good, but it's not great. It's not Karl-Anthony Towns' numbers. The Knicks need Towns to shoot better than 42.6% from the field, and they need him to shoot more threes than just go 1 for 5 as well. 14.3%, and he made his first 3 as well, which is important to note. Look, the Knicks did not play well. It happens. It can't happen again. They cannot do this again. This cannot be the dance the Knicks do. It will not work out at all. So they're going to need to change things. They're going to have to go back to switching on screens because it works. You have to keep throwing the Celtics off. The Knicks were not physical enough tonight, and when they were getting foul calls because the NBA did not want the Knicks to go up 3-0 and have people lose interest in this series. All eyes are on MSG. They still are. They still will be Monday. The officiating should be a bit better, but at the same time, who knows? Also, with the Knicks, they just have to get out of the drop coverage. It's not working. It hasn't worked against the Celtics all year long. When the Knicks have played drop coverage against the Boston Celtics primarily, what we've seen is them go 0-5. When the Knicks have switched heavily, what we've seen is them go 2-0. So we're seeing what's working, we're seeing what's not. Thibodeau needs to go back to that. It's a must-have. I understand that he saw maybe the Celtics were just off on the series. That was an inexcusable mistake, though. Not a good coached game by Tom Thibodeau. Not a good game played by the New York Knicks, and I do blame Tibbs for that a lot. But at the same time, it's not Tibbs' fault that OG and Mikal looked terrified tonight. They have to fix that. They need to get back to what was working. They have to remember why they went up 2-0 because they can be the better team. It's just a matter of proving it to yourselves because you've already proved it to the Celtics. Guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. Go Knicks. If you're still here, thank you for everything because I know the sirens and horns are outside. I live right near MSG. Nothing I can do about it, but I appreciate it anyway. Have a great day and go Knicks.